It's the magic number, folks. Everyone keeps saying it. You've got 1, you've got 2, and then you've got the little baby. And that makes 3.
I think there was an MTV Buzz Bin hit by the band Blind Melon. This is all just coming back to me. This is what dementia must feel like. You just get hit with stupid shit.
Of random things, they pop in your head, and then you go, oh yes, I've heard of that.
Member Berry. Remember the Member Berries episode of
That
South Park,
shit
folks?
Feels like it was from the Soviet Union. That I feel like that happened. There was a Member Berries, and the walrus pulls out one of the balls, and it's like Mikhail Gorbachev is one of the references. That's how old it is, folks.
The biting satire of Member Berries and the wine color stain on that guy's head. It's like I'm there.
Was the Member Berries the walrus, or was that something different?
Walrus? I don't know. I tuned out. Never heard of South Park. Never heard of it.
Never heard of it. Oh
no,
I
just
something different. It is. I didn't see the Member Berries thing.
You never saw that one?
No. Now I'm pulling it up. They look like grapes. It's like maybe blueberries,
yeah.
grape, whatever.
I remember it being actually kind of funny. Yeah. Jesus, that's the 20th season of South Park, and it feels 2016. It feels longer ago than that, but that's fucking almost 10 years ago. Jesus Christ. I hate this shit. It's like a fucking law of nature, though. Like every person, no matter how fucking cool you are, just going to end up saying, I remember this thing happened.
Eventually, they turn into being old and gay. That is how it works, folks. It doesn't matter how cool they are now. Eventually, they turn old and gay.
But then I also think about it, like, people are nostalgic, like, from birth, basically. And, like, I would say at least, yeah, Gen Xers are like that since they were kids, probably. I mean, I don't know. Probably every person on Earth always has been to some degree, but it maybe just feels more pronounced when you're past 40, like yours truly over here.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just lean into it and it feels good.
It
It's just like, whatever. I remember that shit. Remember that shit?
Can't argue with that. So here's the thing. I've heard people reference Member Berries, and I know that it's a South Park thing. I've never seen it myself. What I always just equate it with is when South Park did an episode making fun of Family Guy. That's
what I thought you were. When you said walrus, I thought of the manatee episode.
Yes.
Manatees, not walrus.
Yeah, a manatee that picks out random balls, and then that's the references that they do to make the Family Guy jokes. And I've always
that was a good one.
Basically said that in my mind, I'm just conflated the things as being the same thing. And here's the cool thing: they basically are. It's basically the same concept, I think. It's like...
Is it?
Yeah, it's like, oh, here's this, this thing, or whatever. I don't know. I haven't seen the Member Berries, so I don't really know.
Member Berry's whole thing, and I don't remember, like, the context of it in the episode at all. It's just, like, this, a surreal, like, device or whatever, as far as I remember. But just the concept of, like, the little berries, like, speak and just go, like, remember this, remember that, and it's just, like...
Gotcha.
It's like a very on the nose, like, it's my memory of it, my Member Berries of it was that it was like a very obvious on the nose, but like, I don't know, in 2016, I guess, felt like something, taking aim at nostalgia culture or whatever. Yeah.
Sure.
And I think specifically going after, like, the reboot industry, the reboot industrial complex.
Yeah.
The Member Berries industrial complex.
All right. Well, I guess I don't know what I'm talking about then.
Yeah, because the manatees thing was more just like fuck Family Guy.
Right.
It was like just a direct, like, these guys are hacks. This might as well be how they write their episodes.
Yeah.
But also, I don't know. Like I said, who's South Park? Never heard of them. But meaning more, I fell off with that show a long time ago.
I know them. That's the guys who do the musicals. That's the musical guys. They used to do a cartoon program. Is that what you're saying?
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
They're the Lin-Manuel Mirandas of
Libertarians.
the pseudo-libertarian world or whatever.
Speaking of...
Member South Park.
Member South Park. Speaking of, there's I think she might be either Spanish or Portuguese model whose name is...
exotic.
I think it's a fake name that she uses that is Jane Galt.
That sucks.
Yeah. But she's like a ballerina and model. Because, like, a lot of her stuff that lists her real name, it's like Yevahina or something. It's, like, insane. Like, she's from Milan. I don't know. Anyways.
This model is pretty in the face.
Yes, but not pretty in the brain.
She chose this as a pseudonym?
Yeah,
or
it's
whatever?
a pseudonym that was... I mean, maybe someone gave it to her. Maybe she's so stupid that she literally has no concept of the idea of what the name is a reference to, which I'll give her the pass.
Oh, when you search Jane Galt, what comes up pretty high on the first page of the list is Megan McArdle. She wrote under the pen name Jane Galt.
Of course she did.
Yeah, and she's no Jane Galt the model, let me tell you. What?
Yeah, she wishes. She really... She never... Anyways. Yeah, but the model, the Jane Galt model is... she's a good-looking lady, but she's probably very stupid. Or...
I kind of want to know if she chose the name on purpose.
It would be nice to figure that out, right?
But nothing's coming up right away, so... That'll be the next deep dive episode.
Yes.
Get to the bottom
of Jane Galt.
Of pretty lady's name choice.
Oh.
It's like, okay, maybe if her parents did it, then I don't know. But then it's like her keeping it.
I don't think it's her. Like I said, I don't think it's her.
I mean, it's probably not. Also, if she's from Milan or whatever.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where she's originally
terribly Italian.
Where she is actually from.
Jane Galt episode next time.
Yeah, we're gonna get into it, folks.
Speaking of, shall we just do it?
Let's do it.
Hitting the vape again these days. It's pretty cool, huh?
Congrats.
I'm the Kyle Kalinske of the Marxist-Leninist left.
Yeah. Maybe I should put on sunglasses and turn orange so I can be like more like Aaron Brown and you can be more like Kyle Kalinske.
The people we want to model ourselves after, for sure.
Yeah.
To begin a podcast.
He walked out in the gray light and stood, and he saw for a brief moment the absolute truth of the world. The cold, relentless circling of the intestate earth. Darkness implacable. The blind dogs of the sun in their running. The crushing black vacuum of the universe. And somewhere 200 animals trembling like ground foxes in their cover. Borrowed time and borrowed world and borrowed eyes with which to sorrow it.
And lo, for the earth was empty of form, and void. And darkness was all over the face of the deep, and we said, look at that fucker dance.
Welcome to Heat Death of the Universe, a podcast that illuminates the Illuminati and lets the world know that Walgreens is just upside down McDonald's and George W. Bush tried to turn America into one big gun. It is 11:01 a.m. in the morning time, Korea Standard Time, Saturday, March 29th, year of our Lord, The Snake 2025. At present, you are absorbing constellations of neural byproduct and the heated exhalations of me, Joshua Nomen Mutatio, beamed electromagnetically from the sky blue Line 4 subway adjacent Chungpa neighborhood of Seoul in the DPRK. That's the Double Penetration Republic of Korea. And from the weird scenes inside the Laurel Canyon Cocaine Party Prefecture of Hollyweird, Los Angeles, it's Tim, the Magna Charta Buckner. Everybody, what's up, Tim?
Oh, you know me, always having a good time. I wish I remembered what the reference for the Magna Charta was. It was something bad. It was something where they were like, someone just kept saying it. They kept talking about how they were like breaking the rules of America. You know, some Trump hanger on or whatever. Like,
Trump's been talking about it for
it's all based on the
minute now.
It's all coming from the Magna Carta, folks. Everyone, we love this. We love that Magna Carta, don't we? Yeah. So I was like, you know, I just kept hearing it. I kept saying, hey, you know what? Anyways, it's always a treat to be on the only podcast that is willing to ask the question, am I supposed to be in this Signal chat? I was just planning for like the birthday party on the weekend. Are we still doing that? Are we meeting up at the park, or I'm just gonna get out of here, guys. See you later. How you doing tonight, Josh?
Doing good. To that I say, American flag emoji, fist emoji, flame emoji. That was more or less the order of those emojis in those leaked communiques. You know, I haven't listened to the most recent Chapo Trap House episode, but when I saw that story, I was just like, this was like made for that. There's no way they don't cover this story on that show. It's like tailored for that fucking podcast, which is why we're going to gloss over it. Yeah. And
that intro is the only reference. But okay, so this was part of the thing that got me with the Magna Carta thing, right? Is because, like, the person, it had to have been a Trump person, right? And he was talking about, like, following the rules and this and that. This is from like weeks ago now at this point. But like, and he just kept talking about like, oh, it's important that we follow the things that were set in line by the Magna Carta. Just kept saying it. And in my head, I was just like, that's not American. Like, that's not an American thing. That's not part of American rules. He was talking about it like he got mixed up. It was one of these things where it's like the Trump people are so fucking stupid that you forget how stupid they are. That like they think that the Magna Carta is just a fancy way of saying the Constitution. Like it's being like, oh, I'm real. It's like saying Yehovah instead of Jesus or God or whatever. Like being like, I know his real name, folks. I know his name before he was cool. It's like saying like sometimes I'll be like, oh, you like that Christian hardcore band Norma Jean? Well, I liked them when they were called Ludacris. Like, you know, being like that, being like, I was into the Constitution when it was the Magna Carta. But then you go, that was in England. That wasn't even an American thing. You're not. It
was quite a long time before America was even a gleam in the eye of the sperm of whoever. Yeah. Yeah. I think maybe I almost, my feeling is, and maybe this is because I think I did this as a child. I think I always confused the words Magna Carta with the words Manifest Destiny.
Sure. Yeah, I can see that.
But, you know, Manifest Destiny is not a document either. No. But I don't know. That's probably giving them way too much. It's probably giving them way too much credit to even say that.
I think it is them being like, oh, you like New Order? Well, yeah, or whatever. Like, I think I fucked it. I think I fucked that one up, folks. I think I did that one backwards.
I liked them when they were called Joy Division.
Yeah,
folks.
exactly. Yeah, you like yeah.
I only listen to the fecal matter demo tapes.
Yeah.
Fuck fuck everything post that Kurt Cobain ever recorded.
Yeah. That's what it feels like they're trying to do now, and they're like so mixed up that they really have no fucking clue what they're talking about. And obviously it all rolls down. Speaking of fecal matter, the shit rolls downhill from the big boss, Big Daddy Trump. Because someone mentioned the Magna Carta to him, and he was like, "That sounds like a good deal, folks. It's the biggest one. It's the most magnificent of all the cartas. What are we doing, folks? We just have regular cartas. This one's the magna of them."
Remember the 5 seconds when the MAGA movement was the cool kids in the cafeteria?
Sure. Yeah.
What was that? Well, there was that I can't remember what magazine it was. One of them glossy magazines, but like the cover of it was like,
I think it was the Fader. They were doing their freshman.
It was
the freshman cipher. It was the freestyle edition of the Fader. Yeah, it was XXL. It had Trump.
That would have been much funnier. I want to say it was maybe I don't know what the fuck it was. Whatever. I want to say New Yorker, but it's probably wrong. Yeah. But do you remember this? It was like, and they cropped out, like there were like 3 black people in the crowd, but like on the cover.
Oh yeah.
It was like the party after Trump's win or something. I can't even remember.
Right.
Or maybe it was from the inauguration, whatever. But it was trying to be like, the MAGA movement is hip young people who do cocaine now, and like they were really trying to run with that. And yeah, that obviously it died before it began, but it all just came back. Remember that? I remember buries that. Yeah. That thing that happened a whole maybe 3 months ago.
I remember that.
No, like 2 months ago. The fucking inauguration was only 2 months. That was like, let's see, 2 months and a week ago, basically. Anyway, but we're not here to talk about any of that bullshit.
That shit all sounds lame.
Some things will come up that are adjacent, but just to lay out the plan, which was talked about on an episode that is yet to be released. I guess also, sorry about the break, folks. There are episodes coming down the pike from previous weeks.
Sorry, everyone. It's my fault. I used slurs that they have not made bleeping that are powerful enough to silence them. Josh has been trying to work with some of like the top level NASA and Tesla scientists to figure out ways to properly censor some of the shit that I was saying. But let's just say that our good friends, the Portuguese, really got what they had coming to them.
Jane Galt.
Yep.
Take that. But anyway, the point is gonna try to do so far so good as well with this idea of the focused singular topic episode. But we're gonna try that. We're gonna try that again. Yeah. Anyway, enough with all the fucking behind the scenes shit. So I forget even how, decided to center an episode on a humble product, a simple everyday object, and see what we can mine from this object. Behold the humble chicken's egg. Yes, folks, this is the egg episode. A lot of things connected to eggs, though. They are a hot item in the news. They've come to kind of I would say, main representative of inflation on the consumer, at least in the United States at the moment. Kept hearing about fucking eggs all the time recently. And we're going to dive into the egg. The egg as food. The egg as economic totem. The egg as controversial nutrition.
The ovum, folks. It's the alpha, it's the omega, it's the ovum, it's the crux of where all life begins and ends. It's really the representation of all things. So it's not just this
Mother Gaia.
Yeah, exactly.
Lady Universe egg. Yeah, so, bypassing things like shipping hundreds of Venezuelan people off to terrifying mega prison in El Salvador, the ICE Gestapo roaming the nation, deporting people for saying they're not too keen on genocide. Our dear technology brothers. I've been wanting to use that for a long time, and I finally got to say it. Technology brothers is just funny.
Yeah.
The first time I heard someone say that, it got me real good. I could just say it to myself over and over again. Tech Bros is played. Technology Brothers is in. It's hot this season. Yeah, the Technology Brothers of Doge ransacking our government. All that shit out the window. Elon Musk, Elon Ma. Being highly regarded constantly. That stupid fucking dinner event. Did you see that? Hear about this, folks? Him playing with forks while he was like fucking zooted out of his mind with one of his baby mama / cum silos sitting there like feigning being impressed. People were like unironically posting this video, like fans or whatever, being like, look at his epic engineering brain at work. He was just like doing the thing where you balance like forks on top of each other. You didn't see that one?
No.
It's fucking funny. It's so good. I'll send it to you. And like the thing is like you don't see it right away, but then like the shot like widens or whatever, and you just see Trump sitting there off to the side looking bored as fuck, talking to some other person. It's like this is our hilarious government. So yeah, none of that shit. Signalgate. I mean, Signalgate was really funny, but whatever. Maybe it'll come up organically as we dive into the world of the egg, the incredible edible itself. Yeah, nothing about any of that shit. Bernie Sanders and AOC out there trying to gearing up for a pathetic repeat failure. Probably it's like who do you want to tell you to vote for the shitty Democrat the next time around? AOC instead of Bernie this time. Yeah. Anyway, Israel being evil. It's all out the window this week. So let's get into the world of the egg. Actually, I mean, the thing that really made me think about this as a topic for today was this article in The Atlantic, the storied Atlantic, which we're only going to talk about in terms of egg articles, not signal articles. Yeah, this article came up. Oh, this is like a month ago already. Damn. There's that flat circle again. Entitled, "It's Weird That Eggs Were Ever Cheap."
That was a good one.
I saw this get posted as like, it's insane that someone is trying to manufacture consent for like price gouging by corporations, which is essentially what's happening with these eggs. I mean, there is a sort of natural inflation there as well, but and the subheadline, "What were we thinking buying so many of these fragile, messy, remarkable ovals?" That's the tone of the article, folks. I'm going to read a little bit of it to get us going here. But actually, if I'm remembering right, and I did read the whole thing, I feel like they don't really lean into what is in that headline too much. Right. They like literally just it's like the history of eggs and like how they came to become like this household staple, whatever, blah blah blah. But there's even a part in it where they talk about how actually not fragile eggs are.
Right.
But it's kind of trying to be like, we just had it so good, like, but now we just got to accept that these shits are going to be fucking $5 a piece eventually. So there is a little bit of manufacturing consent there, but yeah. This
is the kind of thing that you do like separate from politics, right? It's kind of like Vox-y, which is funny because I was just going to say, I thought maybe it was it came up because of the abundance thing. But I think actually the place where I was really hearing it was on the Good Old Boys stream, where they were like really giving it to the Vox brothers, the Vox twins, Jizra Klein, as I like to call him, and Matthew Iglesias, and how like they would do the Vox style guide was like, we don't do like an article like, oh, we're not giving you like the background on things. We're not even just doing an article giving our opinion. No, we call them explainers, so that it's like, oh, these are just, we're just giving you the facts, ma'am. We're just giving you, this is like, that's what this kind of article is. It's like from a bygone era, which is like probably nostalgically coming back like soon enough. It's like going to circle back, and we're going to start having, because like, I was thinking about that earlier. I was listening to a Timba Toast video, and like I know that guy's like super into dubstep shit, and like the fact that like nu metal is coming back like nostalgically, I'm like, oh, dubstep is gonna come back nostalgically, and then like the Vox style of like twee explainer journalism is probably gonna come back nostalgically very soon. And this is like kind of in that same vein where the idea isn't, it's trying to be like post political and be like, yeah, we all know eggs are expensive, right, folks? But hey, wait a minute. Has anyone ever thought about the fact that, like, freaking getting eggs for a couple of cents a piece was kind of miraculous, right? And let's see, how did this gosh darn thing get to your table? How did these kooky little things, how did they end up there? Oh, it's so crazy. You know, it's like, it's doing the how did this get made? You know what I mean? It's like, it's that style of journalism that's like, trying to be like post-political. But we're absolutely not ready for that yet. Like, as Americans, we're still like foaming at the mouth psychotic about everything that has to do with politics. We're not ready to be like, let's get back into like the roaring 2000s of being like post-political. You know, and well, we're ready to like forget about, you know, being like, well, we elected Obama, so we're not racist anymore. We don't really have to worry about real politics anymore. We could just focus on like neat little, you know, interesting story. You know, it's like, nah, we're not ready for that yet. We're not quite there yet. I do think it's probably coming eventually. We'll get there. But we're not, people are not ready for cozy news articles about like, aw, shucks, isn't it crazy that, like, we created that, we're able to, like, produce eggs? That's miraculous. And, like, again, it's so perfect because it is, like, the part that's missing is, like, they are literally delicate. It's like, oh, you know, you get to, like, you know, compare the two things. Like, it's this delicate balance economically, and then it's also these fragile little eggs that could break so easily. And look at how we came up with this cool way of transporting them to keep them protected because we're the mighty Americans and we, you know, blah, blah, blah. But yeah, this dumbass, this absolute fucking idiot puts this article out and thinks like, oh, I'm just going to do this again, this twee little fucking bullshit. And it's like everyone saw the article, didn't read it. Nope, fuck that, not reading it. This is where you already got your shit fucked up because you thought people were going to actually read the article. Nope, they're just going to look at the headline and be like, fuck that guy. Fuck that guy. He's making answers. He's making he's making hay, whatever. He's like, apologizing for Trump's bullshit that's caused eggs to be expensive. That guy can fucking eat my dick. Like, fuck him. Like, no. No one even reads the article. No one even gets into the part where it's like, isn't it miraculous? No, they're just like, no, fuck you. Fuck you. You're not going to, again, manufacture consent for this idea that eggs should have never been so cheap. Which was, again, not the point of the article, but it's very funny to think that this idiot was trying to do some, like, cutesy bullshit, and everyone who saw it instantly was like, you can fuck off.
Yeah, it's, Annie Lowry, I see here. McKinsey Business Book of the Year Award short lister.
So maybe not just,
Slate, The Atlantic, New York Magazine, New York Times.
Slate, yeah, I think Ezra Klein, when he first was branching out from Vox, was doing stuff with Slate. So, obviously very inspired by that dumbass's style.
Well, Slate is definitely, in my mind, just grouped with all those outlets. Yeah. There's a couple of bits here. One part I actually kind of like, but it is as you, like, we can say all of this is kind of in the vein of whatever twee bullshit. Oh, also, I want to, just as an aside, the How It's Made TV show. Yeah. I like that show.
Oh, sure, it's cool. Yeah, it's neat. Yeah.
I remember one time declaring that was my my spirituality is watching that TV show.
Okay.
I don't know. I felt like a sort of a spiritual calm or something watching it one time. Sure. And anyway, I'm a fan. And also, you said, "How did this get made?" Which is the movie movie podcast. Yeah. Just a quick clarification there.
With was it Dirty Randy? Was it the
Jason Mantzoukas? Yeah. Yes.
He was.
Wait, is that his name?
I think it was. Fuck. No, he was Rafi on the league.
From the league, right?
Yeah.
The fantasy league.
Yeah, he was Rafi from the league, but his friend, which was God damn it, the guy from Pineapple Express and 40-Year-Old Virgin and what was that? What was the name of that movie where he gets the bitch pregnant? Anyways,
Knocked Up.
Yeah, Knocked Up. Seth Rogen. Yeah, it's Seth Rogen was Filthy Randy, which was Rafi's friend.
It's all coming back to me. I did watch that show.
Oh yeah.
Jason Mantzoukas is great. I'll just say that.
Yeah.
My friend just saw how did it what was it? How did this get made? Live in Austin, said it was really fun.
Nice.
So shout out, he's a listener.
Okay.
What's up, friend in Texas. So some shit from this article. One part I did actually kind of like, twee as it is, in this kind of just the facts, but in a twee writerly way, set up, and all my fucking highlights have disappeared. How did that happen? Here's one interesting fact. Also, same friend I just mentioned tried to raise backyard chickens until the homeowners association shut that down, which sucks. He said it was also really a pain in the ass, but she does mention that Google searches for the phrase backyard chickens tripled in the past 2 months. Consumers furious, whatever. I don't need to spell out what inflation is. I mean, I guess maybe for people who don't know, people who live outside of the U.S., eggs are insanely expensive in America and have been over the last couple months, basically, and are currently. What do you buying eggs?
I just buy eggs every now and then at Costco, but not when there's like a giant line. Because that's like a thing now. There's like a giant line.
At Costco?
Yeah. Sometimes they'll be like, "Oh, you can do a giant line, and then you can wait and get it." And I'm like, not interested in doing that. So when that's going on, I don't get them. But when there's not a line, I just get them, and then otherwise I just buy them at the grocery store, and they seem like not insane price wise. It's like it's a little bit more expensive, maybe, but.
Okay.
Anyway.
I sort of get the sense that, like, on average it has sort of gone down at the moment, maybe, but I don't know. Because what I'm looking at right here, she says right off the bat in this article that imagine telling someone 5 years ago that a carton of eggs would cost more than a pound of salmon fillet or a whole rotisserie chicken. Rotisserie chicken is not that expensive though, depending on.
Well, that's a thing that's also like cheaper because of the Costco thing. Right, because Costco does the $5 whole rotisserie chicken, so every place feels like they have to. It's like the thing that they say about having a union driving up the costs. The $5 Costco chicken drives down the price of a rotisserie chicken or whatever.
She says as much as $15 for a dozen eggs in certain urban markets, which that is pretty outrageous.
Yeah, but like I said, I think the thing about stuff in America is that like none of it makes any sense, The thing about the prices of things in America is
it's weird.
So yeah, it's
we got a soundboard now.
Yeah, that's why I asked for the thing, because I was just gonna pull this up. Yeah, but no, the thing about the price of things in America is that it's like not rational in any way. So like the cost is just based on when people or like the line again, like at the Costco is just like random. It's like when people decide that they care. Because like I said, I'll go randomly and it'll just be like no line. And then I'll go another day, no reason, giant ass line. And it's like, why? Or I'll go to the grocery store and the price is like, this seems like a normal price for eggs. And then another day I'll go and it's like $15. And it's like, it's just like a week later. It's like, what? This doesn't make any sense. What the fuck is going on? Like, none of this shit makes any sense. So yeah, the whole egg price here thing is like all over the fucking place.
Well, of course, ... because capitalism, but yeah, I mean, it's like there is a bird flu outbreak that does contribute to this, but any time the fat cats, the robber barons, if you will, get the opportunity to price gouge, they're gonna price gouge. But where was this little cutesy fucking thing I saw that she wrote? It's like somewhere in the beginning here. Here we go. This was a little bit of tweeness that I actually kind of enjoyed thinking about. Contemporary laying hens are likely descended from dinosaurs. Did you know that? Dinosaurs, birds, connections.
God damn it.
Parentheses. When you eat a dino-shaped chicken nugget, you eat the present injection molded into the shape of the past. The child in the shape of the grandparent.
Wait, hold on.
That is my own sperm.
That's what the dinosaur nugget is saying when you eat it.
I want to stress to folks that I'm getting this as a pleasant surprise. This soundboard right now, it's got a big old grin on my face. I'm loving it. I can't wait for what's coming up next. Yeah. So yeah, you eat the child in the shape of the grandparent, guys.
Right.
Well, also, since all my fucking highlights disappeared, I don't know. I mean, I'm kind of scanning this as I'm talking, but maybe we kind of summarize the whole article, really.
Right.
I mean, she just goes into the history, which is like, it's interesting in that kind of way that we just described, that we spent some time describing just now. So, I mean, if you're actually curious, I mean, it's not that great of an article at all. It's kind of stupid, actually, but in kind of an entertaining way, I guess, is what I would maybe leave it at that. I mean, she kind of dips into politics a little bit in it. She does link us to the Trump administration's 5-point plan to get egg prices down. I mean, yeah, I guess it's worth noting, like, this was like a campaign trail theme, whatever topic. It was brought up a lot. Trump, of course, just like, egg prices will be beautiful and tremendous once I'm in charge. But then that kind of leads us into this other thing I have pulled up here. Donald Trump's viral "shut up about egg prices" repost.
Perfect.
On Truth Social sparks outrage as he golfs while Americans struggle with, as the Economic Times here has written, with a word that doesn't exist, height food costs. HIGHT. Oh, fuck you, Economic Times.
Oh, no.
Giving me this ad blocker bullshit. Well, here's a life hack, folks. Go to archive.md. The domain changes a lot, but it'll automatically take you to the right place.
Right.
Archive.today. And you can get around most paywalls for stupid fucking articles. It's great. General recommendation, archive.today. I mean, I don't know. Like, also, what I just read in that headline is basically the whole fucking thing.
Right.
But I do kind of want to be reminded of what the tweet actually said. God damn it. Speaking of abundance, such an overabundance of egg articles here. Really above and beyond, more than is necessary.
Oh.
And as I just shouted out this archive page, it is fucking slow as hell right now for some reason. Where's the fucking tweet? I'll find it. Getting timely drops there for this dead air.
About trying to save you, but maybe I'll just let you twist in the wind a little bit. Maybe. Yeah, nothing. There's nothing here that says.
All right, BuzzFeed's helping me out.
Oh wait, hold on. So then Twitter said.
So let me explain something to you.
If you're on Truth Social, then you know Donald Trump is constantly posting and reposting bizarre things.
That's right.
No, never heard of it.
No.
Oh, Jesus. This is a whole compilation of... Got the Trump AI video of golden statues of him in Gaza. That was a banger.
Right.
Here we go. So Trump retweeted a Daily Caller article written by Charlie Kirk. It looks like I can't fucking click on any of this shit. That was just literally entitled "Shut Up About Egg Prices. Trump is saving consumers millions." Okay, nice.
Awesome.
But I did not read that.
Sure. Well, when it comes down to it, the most important thing is that we just all have to accept that Trump is going to fix everything and...
Praise God.
See what I'm saying? Huh?
It's really annoying is I type "shut up about egg Charlie Kirk" and all that comes up are other articles about how Trump posted this fucking article. There we go. Got it. We got him. Oh, fuck you, dude.
Oh, no.
Being on the internet is hard.
Right now,
guys.
Josh is saying...
I am having trouble doing the show.
Yes, exactly. Thank you, Alex Jones, Ozempic Jones, as I like to call him. I got to blow somebody's mind on the internet with the news that Alex Jones is like zemped up and dyed his goatee black and whatever. It looks more insane than ever. They didn't believe me until I posted pics.
Yeah, he looks insane now. It's kind of out of control.
More than ever. Yeah.
And if anyone's interested in seeing what Alex Jones looks like right now,
That's on YouTube.
Videos aren't real. Eggflation. So over here in Korea, I gotta say, I'm gonna rub it in the American face. Although there has been eggflation here as well, but
sure,
it's so minimal. The current cost of eggs at a 30 pack of eggs, which is how I buy eggs usually.
Yeah, I mean, that's fine for you. I usually do the 60, but whatever.
I actually did accidentally. Well, my girlfriend ordered 2 30 packs. And,
okay.
Damn, it's a lot of eggs. So I've been actually. It seems like maybe it's just because I've been eating so many eggs recently that I decided to do this this theme today. No, it's incredibly cheap. It's like let's see exactly $4.82 for 30 eggs. So something is good in my life that's not good in yours. I haven't noticed, but yeah, some people in Korea are like, that price is outrageous. It used to be less, but yeah, it's gone up like 6% or something in the time that it's like more than doubled throughout the U.S. So that's Korean eggflation. Oh, and somehow maybe because Korea is a U.S. colony of sorts. Right. Some have said they're basically demanding that Korea exports like cheap eggs to the U.S. like at like a. It's another article I have here.
That's pretty good.
Which has that's basically what has caused like the relatively much smaller rise of cost in Korea on the eggs is. Yeah. Selling them to the Yankee,
right?
I was hesitating to say the round eye, but whatever. Now I said it.
Now you've done it, and
the round-eyed Yankees.
It's too late to try to take it back.
Can never edit that out of anything ever again. Another thing about eggs.
Sure. Yeah.
White House seeks corporate sponsorships for Easter event. This is not your grandmother's Easter egg roll, says somebody in this CNN headline. Which is like, some people are like outraged about this. Like, doesn't this just says, this is emblematic of the new era that we're in, this new Trump 2.0 era. But as always, it's just like a slightly more in your face version of what's already existed. Like there were already corporate sponsorships, but they weren't so like, blatantly, publicly called for. In the past, it was just like some staffers or whatever would like get like Dasani water bottles of water from Coca-Cola, but then be like, but you can't put your Coca-Cola logo on the cooler. Like that's literally in this article is like, so that's the Democrat version,
Right.
Democrat Party version. And then Trump's version is just like, hey, to the highest bidder, want to slap your shit on my shit?
Right.
Like, put your logo on the White House? You can do that. And it's like, okay, that's slightly louder. That's a little bit louder. It's a little more colorful. It's a little more idiocracy is real life now. But
Yeah, it's like that would
is
be...
it really fundamentally that different? Are we really fundamentally more captured by corporations than before? I don't really think so. Still, as insane as things are these days, like it just seems like a little bit of a boost,
Right.
But I don't know. Depends on the topic at hand. Like obviously, like the people being stuff I said we were going to talk about at the top of the show, stuff happening, does seem. But see, I'm so loath to use words like unprecedented, which a lot of people love shouting that from the rooftops these days. Never seen anything like this, folks. It's like, are you sure? Do we have to? You don't even have to go that far back in history to like find things happening under like when things were normal and okay.
Right.
When America was good.
Yeah, it does. You mentioned the famous documentary Idiocracy, but it does feel like there would be a bit in that where it's like the president has advertisements on his suit like a NASCAR driver. In fact, like I haven't seen the movie, but I'm sure that's in there. I feel like that.
Yeah, you are describing Idiocracy. I forgot that you haven't seen that movie. Yeah,
that literally happens. Yeah, there's
a part where the cabinet, like the high up cabinet members or whatever of the and it's like what is it? Who's that fucking actor? Brooklyn Nine-Nine. Terry Crews.
That sounds right. Yeah, sure. Terry Bradshaw.
He's a well, Terry Crews was a NFL player.
Sure.
And something. But he's the president in that movie. And he's like supposed to be like a porn star and like a WWE wrestler or something.
Right.
Turned president. And his name is ridiculous. Yeah.
Sure.
Biting satire.
Wait, hold on. And his name is
Iluma.
There it is. Yeah. We're just gonna go
the president.
Oh, that's good. That's good stuff. I feel like I'm watching YouTube.
Yeah. But yes, that's like I said. I figured that's probably exactly from the movie. I'll watch that movie eventually at some point.
I mean, if you want to understand the present world we live in,
I finally want to understand the wretched scum that surround me.
It's like a totally fine comedy. It's not amazing. It's not mind blowing. Anyone who says that is on some weird shit, but it's also not like stupid and like too obvious either. Like for what it was at the time, it was yeah. I'm thinking about some of the funny lines. It got some laughs out of that movie.
Fair. Uh-huh.
So, like I said, bird flu is an actual element of this. I believe some insane number of chickens have been culled in the last several months. I'll just say 90 million. That seems right. It was.
Yeah, that sounds.
It was many holocausts over of chickens.
Sure.
But genius MAHA man, RFK Jr., he had some interesting ideas about how to handle bird flu. Namely, oh god damn it! Even this Norwegian website is fucking with me.
Oh no.
Okay, got it. U.S. Health Secretary, this is a Google Translate of some Norwegian news site. U.S. Health Secretary wants to let bird flu run wild among chickens. Smart. The virologist all around intellectual Robert F. Kennedy Jr. proposes controversial measures against bird flu. Recipe for disaster, says expert.
Seems right.
I mean, that's pretty much that's it. Let's get some choice quotes from the man. Let him really represent himself here. He says we should consider the possibility of allowing the virus to run through the flock so that we can identify and preserve the birds that are immune to it. Natural immunity. It's a terrible idea for several reasons, says Dr. Gail Hansen, former state veterinarian in Kansas. Since January 2022, there have been over 1,600 outbreaks on farms and in backyard flocks across every U.S. state, affecting more than 166 million birds. Outbreaks have led to egg shortages, higher egg prices. They show a picture here. Every time I see white eggs now, it shocks me because
Like egg
they're not
whites?
white over here. No, like the white color shell,
Gotcha.
which used to be the norm, of course, for me. But now it just like it shakes me when I see it because I've just completely I've been integrated into the Korean egg society.
Sure.
They're all a tannish, brownish hue over here instead. What does Dr. Hansen have to say about RFK? Experts warn that each infection gives the virus, called H5N1, another opportunity to evolve into a more virulent form. If the virus is allowed to run wild through a flock of 5 million birds, that means, quote, literally 5 million chances for the virus to replicate or mutate. How did RFK not see this coming?
Right.
He's just like applying all of his just completely hack ideas about, COVID and whatnot to the bird flu, essentially. You got to give the chickens the horse medicine. That's the key.
That's the only way to do it.
And RFK has also said that the virus doesn't seem to harm wild birds. They have some kind of immunity. But experts point out that many types of wild birds are actually susceptible to the virus. According to New York Times, such a strategy would lead to, quote, extremely painful deaths for nearly 100% of the chickens and turkeys, according to Dr. David Swain, poultry veterinarian who worked at the USDA for nearly 30 years. So it's just classic RFK. Everything he says is 1,000% wrong. It's a new form of entertainment via the news to just watch him be absolutely wrong about everything that comes out of his mouth. What was the thing you called him out on that was so obviously should have been fact checked immediately about Medicaid or was it Medicaid?
Oh yeah.
Do you remember?
No.
When
He was like
being
conflating the two things, basically.
He said he was talking about premiums and shit, which are not a part of that insurance.
He was talking about Medicaid and paying premiums, which is not a thing because you don't pay premiums when you're on Medicaid. You just go and get everything for free, and then stuff that they don't
at
cover
point of service or whatever.
The things you just don't get the things that they don't cover. But yeah, pretty cool, smart guy. He knows a lot of times. He knows most of the stuff he's talking about. He seems to really nail it down. There was something recently he was doing a little chin wag about that was absolutely incredibly wrong. I wish I remembered it.
Was it treating measles with overdoses of vitamin A?
Yeah.
Because I've got that article pulled up here.
Yes, there was that. I think actually it wasn't him. It was the people whose kid died from measles. That was like a little bit of measles is actually good for you.
They did say that. I watched some of the interview with them.
Pretty sick. It was like, it's like, cool. Your kid is dead as fuck though, and like what you're talking about, it's very funny because it's like a little tiny bit of measles is actually good for you, and it's like, oh yeah, like a vaccine, like when they give you just a little bit of it in a vaccine.
We don't believe in that.
That's good. Like that's literally what you're talking about. Yeah. Anyways, that wasn't RFK directly, but that was like that was just one of his friends, one of his followers. Like everyone knows that RFK is he's a friend to the what the fuck were those people? What were they? I can't even remember What they were?
They're from a Mennonite community in West Texas where the measles outbreak
yes, they were
is the
Mennonites.
worst.
Yes.
Yeah, I think they had 5 kids, and one of them died, and but that's basically how they were. It was, watching the interview with them was really unnerving. I couldn't make it more than a few minutes.
Right.
Like, they did not seem upset. And I mean, part of it is like, let's go off on some new atheism shit.
Sure.
If you really believe that your kid goes to heaven, then it's like, you should be fucking happy, kind of. Like,
right.
And that's basically what they said. They were like, no, she's in a better place. Like, that's what we believe.
Right.
We actually believe the stuff that we talk about believing. So, yeah, like, why would we be sad? She's in paradise experiencing pure bliss.
Yeah.
So it's okay. And hey, 1 out of 4 ain't bad odds is basically what they said.
Right.
Because like all of their kids got measles, but one
Only
of them
one,
died.
right,
And to them, they saw this as like proof that like, yeah, a little measles
ain't never
just a little
hurt
measles
nobody.
toughens you up.
Right. When one of your 5 kids dies, that's actually a blessing. And
That's in the Bible.
Yeah, it is. So, I mean, like this egg stuff, it can veer us into a little side quest on MAHA in general. I feel like, which I guess what we've been just talking about, RFK and his MAHA bullshit. It sounds
his MAHA
it's so
blast.
funny to say MAHA.
Oh.
Yeah, MAHA blast code red.
I don't know about you, but sometimes I go to Taco Bell just to get the MAHA blast, and I don't even.
That's crazy.
Now
I don't think I've ever.
You've never had it?
I've never tasted it. I've heard about it. As a Doughboys listener, I've heard about these things. I was right before we got on here. I was listening to. I got back on the Doughboys Patreon because I can't steal their paywalled episodes.
Right.
So it's like the one podcast that you can't get the leaked ones somehow.
Sure.
Anyway, but I'm a fan. But I listened to this episode, and I was thinking about we're about to record an episode ostensibly about the humble egg, right?
Right.
But their whole episode was like taking the concept to even more like ridiculous heights. They had a whole 90-minute episode where they literally ranked flavors alphabetically.
Pretty good.
Like, what is the best flavor?
I like that. I like the sound of that, actually.
And I mean, it's totally silly and like self-aware. Obviously,
Sure.
They're like, this is bullshit. Our podcast sucks, even though we're like probably millionaires from it now. But whatever.
Right.
Yeah, I just thought it was funny. And the winner, what was the winner? I just listened to it.
What was the number 1 flavor?
The winner was butter. After all was said and done,
I
they
guess.
landed on butter.
Can't argue with. I mean, honestly,
it's yeah. It was funny listening to them eventually get there. Anyway, What was I saying? MAHA Blast?
I was talking about, we were talking about MAHA Blast. I was talking about how
being
I like
on MAHA Blast.
about heading down to the local Taco Bell, and when I get there, I hear, and then I order myself a MAHA Blast.
That was pretty wild. I have this like metal thermos here with some water in it. And right when that fucking sound went off, I had just hit it really hard on my bookshelf.
Perfect.
And I thought for a split second that I made that fucking deafening Taco Bell sound.
You may have. It might have been what happened.
Oh, man. I don't think you could actually see me hit that in the
I did
video,
not.
but
I did
maybe I'll I think you could see my arm raise up at the moment just to prove that really happened. And maybe we'll release some YouTube shorts, exciting moments of the podcast like that one. MAHA Blast, Elo MAHA.
There we go. Now we're cooking. Let's do it.
I mean, what the fuck is there to say about MAHA? Seed oils. We can talk about the seed oils bullshit. I do have a bit about beef tallow here.
Okay.
Which is what is that? Could we say this is the biggest tangible win for the MAHA movement so far?
Right.
Is getting let's where are the facts? What are the facts on this? Never heard about this. I think it was Steak and Shake fast food chain Steak and Shake.
Oh, I've never been there because
They make me sick.
Do they have Steak and Shakes out in
Yeah, there's
California
tons of them.
way?
Too many of them, if you ask me. Probably need to get rid of them because
I think
they're all gross.
I think it used to be a Midwest thing. I think I've had it once or twice, but I can't really remember, to be honest.
Speaking of listening to other podcasts, I was listening to another podcast earlier, and Paul F. Tompkins was talking about living nearby a Steak and Shake and ordering it too often, and saying like that it was dangerous for him and his wife because they order it too regularly or whatever. And so yeah, it's definitely here because he lives, in Los Angeles. Paul F. Tompkins, big LA guy. Everyone knows that.
Mayor of podcasts, Paul F. Tompkins.
He is the king of podcasts.
I'll shout out his very old podcast that's long gone. The Pod F. Tompkins show. It was great. Check it out, folks.
Pod F. Tompkins.
That was a real fun one. Did I say it wrong?
You said, I don't know. I don't know. Anyway, I don't remember.
I don't know either. Who knows? We'll never know. We can't hear what we said in the past.
But here's the thing.
It's impossible.
This is what we think about what you can do with Paul F. Tompkins podcasts is
wipe your ass with them.
Podcasts aren't real, as we all know. Yes, it was Steak and Shake. They switched their frying oil to beef tallow, which I first heard about this beef tallow obsession. Again, actually, I think via the Doughboys, when they talked about Epstein Flight Lugs All-Star, Malcolm Gladwell's article that he wrote back in 2001 about how McDonald's switched the French fry oil from beef tallow to whatever, like some cheap seed oil,
right?
And how this ruined the taste of his childhood or whatever.
Sure.
And he just went on in a very annoying Malcolm Gladwell style way about this whole thing. And then he eventually landed on the idea of, but he was basically saying make America healthy again back in 2001. And with regard to beef tallow, okay, Ray Kroc's revolution made French fries universally available. Now a second revolution is necessary to make them healthier.
Malcolm Gladwell, he's the progenitor of that 10,000 hours thing that people just have just culturally accepted. And it's just some fucking weirdo just came up with that. You know what I mean? Why does everyone just be, oh yeah, some dumbass who's never had a good idea ever. You know what I mean? Nothing he's ever said, otherwise, politically or scientifically or socially, none of that shit, is real or makes any sense. Yeah. This is that thing, especially because, the quote has just been completely, separated from him as a person. Nobody, people don't even really think or realize that he's the one who made, people like me and you know that he did. And it's just
yeah.
But everyone else, it's just become if you mention that to someone, I bet you could get them to believe oh yeah, they'd just be Benjamin Franklin came up with that. You know what I mean? They'll be oh, I think that 10,000 hours, that probably came from the Magna Carta, or Benjamin Franklin said it. I don't know where that
Confucius
came.
say.
Yeah, they'll just believe that, even though it's this little fucking dweeb that no one fucking likes or respects just came up with it within the past 20 years, but they just believe him. You know what I mean? They're just oh yeah, that's just true because I've heard it before and I like it. It sounds real. You know what I mean? And it's just it just literally everyone has just accepted it, and it's and honestly, you know what?
Disgusting, and probably illegal.
That's how I feel about it.
I just did a quick search and previously mentioned article industrial complex outlet Vox.com has an article entitled "The 10,000 Hour Rule Was Debunked Again." That's
nice.
A relief.
Yeah.
Improvement is exhausting. It's okay to enjoy when you don't excel.
Right. And you know what else has been? Yeah. You know what else has been debunked?
I never sucked any ding dongs.
Totally false.
But yeah, you get my point on that whole thing. It's like
Yeah.
people just, we're fucked, folks. We are absolutely gone.
Yeah, this Gladwell article, the trouble with fries.
Yeah. Oh my god.
And it's like it's written in that classic cool The New Yorker font. And it's got a little cartoon of Malcolm Gladwell in 2001 with his big fro.
Yeah.
This is like a platonic ideal of the twee article.
Yeah.
This fucking thing. But there's
I
a
see
part
that
in it that I
article,
wanted to...
and I see people like Malcolm Gladwell, and I think
these people are perverts.
Lolita Express, folks, look it up. He was there.
He was, and you know what he was doing there?
Sniffing.
Who was that?
I think that was
know?
Tucker.
Is it funnier to not know?
It's just Tucker just saying it.
Okay.
Yeah.
But in this stupid article where he's like, "Give me back my childhood French fry taste" or whatever,
Yeah.
and also trying to argue that beef tallow will bring heart disease down,
Right.
or whatever bullshit.
Right.
Which is exactly what
Man, that's smart.
exactly what RFK is on right now, and you can go to RFK's. Or you could, I guess, in the past. I don't know. I didn't actually look it up. I mean, this article is from a few days ago. The CNN article about the oil wars or whatever. But it says Kennedy's campaign website still sells hats embroidered with the phrase "Make frying oil tallow again." I gotta give you one of those.
Oh god, that sucks.
I wonder if you can get a baby onesie with that on it.
Oh, I hope so.
What did the onesie say? What is on the onesie?
Yeah, that was so good. That was
the best thing Bernie's done in like a couple of years.
Yeah, that was
screaming about the onesies at RFK.
That was fantastic.
That was a good one.
When Bernie had RFK
Switching and twisting.
Man, you got a real soundboard going here, folks.
Pretty
Shit
good.
is for real. So just okay. Here's how stupid fucking Malcolm Gladwell is in this article. He starts to promote the idea of not even just beef tallow, but let's just fry everything in Olestra.
Might as well.
Actually says that.
Might as well.
Olestra, for those who don't know, was like a fad thing in the early 2000s, I guess, right? Yeah. Let's see. What does Malcolm Gladwell say about it? Perhaps the most elegant solution would be for McDonald's and the other chains to cook their fries in something like Olestra, a fat substitute developed by Procter & Gamble. That's who I want developing my food stuffs, Procter & Gamble.
Yeah, you can trust them.
They're primarily like pharmaceutical, right? Am I
I think they were I think that they made their money off of baby powder that ended up like giving people fucking cancer.
They are just a general manufacturing company is what I'm saying
Right.
here. So, okay, whatever. Yeah. But anyway.
They started out as one of the talcum companies that made talcum powder that they then put like fucking other shit in that gave people cancer and they had to pay out or whatever recently.
Lead-based baby powder.
There it is, baby. Yeah.
So, Procter & Gamble, Olestra... blah, blah, blah. Ordinary fats are built out of a molecular structure known as triglyceride. It's a microscopic tree with it. This guy's way of talking, speaking, writing is so fucking annoying. It's a microscopic tree with a trunk. I got to do this kind of voice to read Malcolm Gladwell. It's a microscopic tree with a trunk made of glycerol and 3 branches made of fatty acids. Our bodies can't absorb triglycerides, so in the digestive process, each one of the branches is broken off by enzymes, blah, 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 blah. Long story short, folks, I'm not going to read all this shit. It goes on like that for so long. And again, my fucking highlights, my Chrome highlighter thing just shit the bed and it all disappeared. Anyway, Olestra is just this thing that famously made people just shit their pants uncontrollably.
Right.
It was bad. And it went away as soon as it was invented, essentially, and is like banned throughout the world. Even the United States won't fucking fuck with it anymore.
Right.
And didn't, like, very quickly. It was just like, oh, look, you can eat these chips with like slightly less fat or whatever, or fat calories. And the only downside is unbelievable streams of diarrhea coming out of your body constantly.
They made, like, I remember they made Lay's potato chips with them, and they had like a special they had like a special name for, like, oh, these are the new, like, fat-free chips or whatever. And this was like this was like proto, like you said, they instantly pulled them off the market because this was like the proto Treatlers, because it had all of them going like and they were like, get rid of that shit.
Yeah, and our genius Gladwell over here was like,
bring it back.
The elegant solution to the oil wars.
Yeah, that's it.
Is Olestra. Yeah, I mean, reading about some of this stuff over the last week, it got me thinking about, like, just, I don't know, like, nutritional gurus and scams and fads, and how it really does kind of suck to try to, like, navigate this stupid world. And I don't know, I guess, like, I've personally gotten caught up in some fad things. Like, I was like a fucking I sort of evangelized things like being in ketogenesis, like that's the way to be healthy, is to
that's the trick. I think like the best thing ever that I heard, it's like, it is like kind of the worst part about like Nick Mullen, because he's a fucking idiot, but like every now and then he'll hit something and it's like, it's so perfect. Like his brain just works on a perfect level for like explaining this stuff. When he was talking about being like a fat little kid one time on the podcast with Stav, and it was like, yeah, that's the trick. Like there's this certain kind of snack that I'm going to be able to snack and then lose weight. But that is like legitimately how your brain works. I think they were talking about like Crystal Light. You know what I mean? It was like, oh yeah, this is going to be the solution. Like I'm going to just change nothing about my life and just drink like Crystal Light and eat the perfect kind of snack, and then my life is going to be perfect and I'm going to lose weight. And like that is like the solution, but we all fall for it. We all like, we see the thing and we go,
praise God.
Yeah, I mean, the thing that I mean is who the fuck knows? Who am I to say whatever? I'm no scientist, but like, I have paid some attention to some of this stuff. Like people just arguing online, and like my expert says this, whatever. These studies say that. Like something like a ketogenic diet, high fat, extremely low carbohydrates. It's like, I did it for a while, and it had to be like 20 grams of carbohydrates period. That means like, you eat enough like lettuce and you're like maxing out your, your carbs for the day or whatever. It's an incredibly low amount, 20 grams of carbohydrates.
Yeah, I mean, but there is something to the ketosis thing. It is real, but it's like impossible.
It is real. It is real. It works, but it's unsustainable.
Right.
Like,
because at a certain point,
do it.
At a certain point, even when you're in ketosis, you have to say,
"Give us pizza or give us death."
True. Man, you got one for everything. But yeah, it's like that's the thing, is like, yeah, if you like isolate these nutrients or whatever that were, in the past, people have been like, oh, you should have this like balance of these three things, of fats, proteins, and carbohydrates. And then it's like, no, I need to go insane and completely cut out one of them.
That's it.
It's just, I can see why people get so confused, and then why the people like get like religiously attached to different, of these like nutritional whatever movements, or the podcaster idiots like Jordan Peterson or whatever, like all steak diets and shit. Or even someone like Brian Don't Die Johnson, like his shit is like not even perfect either. Even though he's like paying millions of dollars or whatever. And I've been watching some debunking videos about Brian Johnson that I'm not like 100% convinced by either, but they are pointing out some flaws in his research or whatever, and his lack of transparency and whatnot.
Yeah, I mean, collecting data is like it sucks because I get it, especially with someone as detestable as Brian Johnston or whatever. Is it John? Who the hell is this guy? Is it Johnston?
Johnson.
Yeah, but like
Brian Penis.
You get like it's always really easy to like, especially like to pick apart a dumbass like him and be like, just attribute like some fucking flaw in his data to malice when really it's just stupidity. You know what I mean? Like, but yeah, it's like there's flaws.
And he's not an expert. He's just hired a bunch of supposed experts or whatever. Anyway.
He's just a fucking, I mean, you know, to be honest, what he is
What a pervert.
Because like, you know, he's talking about his penis all the time. He's talking about how often he masturbates, all that stuff. He's obsessed with really stupid shit. It's not helping anyone, but it is really...
He thinks the nighttime erections are like the marker of good health or whatever.
Right.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I have the best nighttime erections on earth.
Yeah, you know, and it's, again...
No wonder his name is Brian Johnson.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, you know, again, when it comes down to it...
These people are perverts.
And we just can't... There's nothing we can do about it other than... but yeah, like... It's unfair. Some people treat his data.
That one got me good. I mean, I think I'm just the whole thing just hit me all at once. All the soundboard shit just hit me all at once.
Pretty good. But yeah, like
the revolution is upon us, folks.
My point,
soundboard revolution,
just being that people pick apart his data. Like, of course it's flawed. He's just some jackass doing this like for fun at home by himself, and at the end of the day,
adult baby.
There we go.
Yeah.
I have also heard that Chinese people are generally Chinese.
Generally speaking, yeah.
Yeah. All right. I think the last thing we can talk about on the old list. You hear about this? You hear about this, folks? The soda pop wars inside pay to post campaign to pit MAGA against MAHA. What are these words we are forced to say in the content creating business? It's fucking funny. It's so stupid. MAHA versus MAGA was a real controversy on the internet recently. Basically, what happened was these like MAGA influencer people on Twitter.
Right.
This was on Twitter. One of them was Ian. What's his name? Ian Miles Chong.
I believe.
Chung?
Actually, I believe his name is
Iluma.
There we go.
Yeah, Ian Miles Ching Chong. Yeah.
Yeah. Someone named Clown. What was it? I don't have this in front of me. I'm doing this all from memory.
Okay, you're trying to pull this up. Hold on, I think it's
CK Louis, the comedian.
Clown World is some like
sure
MAGA thing. The thing about Clown World I saw the first time I ever heard of it was Mr. Brace Belden, the gourmand himself, from it was like trying to talk the Clown World person into relapsing on alcohol.
Nice.
Which, if you know anything about Brace Belden, it's especially funny because he talks frequently about his own sobriety, you know, saving his life or whatever. But he's just like actively trying to get this person to relapse and destroy their life. It's funny because they suck politically.
Sure. They've got it coming.
Which I mean, I do really stand by. It sounds like I'm making fun of it, but no, I fully support Mr. Belden's actions there.
Right.
But anyway, these fucking idiots. Like some other right wing person. I'm not gonna. Whatever. Who cares about these people's names? Doesn't fucking matter. Nick Sorter. Apparently, there we go.
What's he doing sorting all those
nicks
nicks out? Right. That's how it starts. First, they start out sorting the nicks, and then eventually they start. You know what I mean? And that's how we end up with like a nick replacement theory or whatever.
He, according to this Yahoo News article, smelled astroturf coming from, because these guys, like basically this group of people were all tweeting essentially almost word for word the same things about how soda is actually pretty based. Trump loves soda even. They were like posting pictures of Trump with his
I was hearing about this Diet Coke button.
Yeah, the Diet Coke button in the Oval Office.
Oh. In the ovum office.
Yes, back to eggs.
Mm-hmm. That's right.
But basically, this guy, like, I don't know, somehow sorted it out and exposed these people, and they all like immediately caved and admitted to taking some money from whoever, I don't know, the soda lobby. Clearly, I read this whole article.
Big Soda was paying them off.
They were actually getting paid by some corporations to tweet this stuff, because the MAHA movement, of course, RFK does say the soda is bad, which is true, which even the dumbest person on earth realizes that it's not necessarily good to drink a bunch of soda.
Wow, of course, and you need the right kinds of sodas, right? Obviously, but no.
Beef tallow soda, like carbonated beef tallow, is great.
As long as you don't get those sodas that have the Alestra in it and make you go.
Of course. That's the Malcolm Gladwell 10,000 shits rule.
Exactly.
But yeah, it's kind of funny to see some of the tweets about this. I don't know, whatever. Ending with a whimper here, I guess. But it's just what a stupid discourse we have to be surrounded by, I guess. But whatever. Then we get to make YouTube videos about it and podcasts, and
sure.
The cycle continues, marches on. The news will never die. And also, it seems like in this fight between MAGA and MAHA, I don't know, nobody really won. Everyone loses in this kind of thing.
It's pretty bad.
Just the general topic of like the state of healthcare or whatever in the United States.
Sure.
Nutrition, health, MAHAism. I saw a very interesting Law and Order episode this week that ripped from the headlines, as they do. Luigi Mangione, they did their Mangione episode, and I got really excited when I saw that that's what it was going to be. And I watched like maybe half of it and bailed, and then I finished it like the next day, and I gotta say, even the liberal fascist consciousness of America, which is Law and Order TV series, it seemed to kind of endorse Mangione by the end of it when all was said and done. It did something I don't think I've watched an insane amount of Law and Order.
Sure.
I find it interesting. It's interesting slop.
Why the hell not?
For many years. I was on this train way before the fucking Chopoverse made hay with it, of it. Just saying, I was there first. Law and Order's my thing. But the way the episode ended was with like, the verdict, but they didn't fucking say whether he was guilty or not. They cut it off mid, like, and we find the defendant, dun dun, and it was over. And I was like, oh, is it going to be continued? And that was my stupid thought. Like, no, they're just like, they're afraid to take any side on this, basically.
Right.
But anyway, several general recommendations have been made so far, and I would recommend watching the Mangione episode of Law and Order. It's Law and Order Prime, by the way, not SVU. It's the original one, which went away and returned with that British actor who was in the Hannibal show as the
oh god,
Will something.
DC Luther?
I can't think. Hugh Dancy is the actor. Anyway, I liked him in Hannibal, and now he's the fascist
Okay.
prosecutor on the revived original L and O series.
Gotcha.
And one more bit here. They're eating our lunch, folks. That's right, China. China continues to eat the Americans' lunch. I saw a cool bit of news about an insane medical breakthrough. So, like, meanwhile, in America, we're fighting over soda pop,
Right.
literally. And can we have some health care, maybe a little, just a bit?
Just let us have just a little bit. It's not a big. It's I don't know. I guess not. Maybe not. Maybe I'm asking for too much.
But yeah, as that's happening, socialism with Chinese characteristics is developing some amazing scientific research, including there's no other way to say it. They cured paralysis with two small implants in the human brain. And the other thing that's so satisfying about it is that it just blows away Elon Musk's bullshit fucking brain chip technology.
China out here looking at Iluma and saying,
You're a moron.
Exactly. Sorry, I'm trying to pull this thing up. Yes, recent developments in Chinese neurotechnology have literally cured paralysis. Researchers at Shanghai Fudan University have successfully enabled 4 paralyzed patients to regain control of their legs.
God damn it!
Just hours after undergoing minimally invasive surgery. The trial involved implanting electrode chips in both the brain and spinal cord, reestablishing communication pathways that had been lost due to injury. The results were astonishing. Within 24 hours, the patients could move their legs again. Within weeks, they were able to walk independently. Some even reported restored nerve sensations. It's fucking awesome. It's just like, I'm not going to go crazy here and say I have hope for the world, but if anything gets me close to that, it's China eating our fucking lunch. But at what cost, of course.
Yes. China and Cuba literally doing luxury space communism bullshit, like curing unthinkable diseases. America, the closest thing we have is Mr. Beast giving fucking colorblind sunglasses to random people in Africa. And then meanwhile, the president of the United States is saying,
I'm out in Miami, ho.
Yeah. I was going to mention Cuba as well. I think this was a few years ago. Cuban scientists developed a lung cancer vaccine. I think it was.
Yeah, they sure did.
And that's with being pummeled continually, but economic warfare by the United States. I was going to say, can you even imagine socialism not, under the boot? And I guess it's China. That's just what China is.
Of course. Of course. But, can you really argue with it? It's like, okay, China's doing good, but
generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
Disgusting and probably illegal.
I didn't get a chance to look for it, but I just even imagining the but at what cost articles be written about this paralysis cure.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, but should we ever really have been walking in the first place?
Right. That's really good for them. Now they're going to be out walking on the streets and they're going to get hit by a car. And then it's like, well, actually, primarily they ride bicycles in China, actually. Most people don't even drive. They don't have, pedestrian crosswalks the same way we do in America. And then it's like, okay, so they take away their freedom and they're not allowed to drive. So, that's good. Right. So then again, back again, we've gone back to at what cost,
Yeah. But actually, the Chinese electric vehicles are like blowing all the other fucking electric vehicles out of the water.
Sure.
In terms of like price and basically
and
everything.
Yeah, the fact that the batteries are made from salt or whatever. But can they compete with
Uber cars?
I don't think so. I really don't. But yeah, no, they've got the fucking the electric vehicles where the batteries are made from salt and they cost like a third of the price of the cars that are made by Iluma.
Yep. Oh, somebody. Someone raised the idea on the old TrueAnon subreddit where I posted about this Chinese win that Comrade Christman should be at the front of the line. For some treatments, because then I also read in the same day that I saw this that Chinese scientists have also essentially cured aphasia.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, that goes more to Chrisman's brain troubles.
Right. What I figured is that the person reacting to whatever thing you posted on the Reddit what they said was,
"You're a moron."
But no, they were talking about Matt Chrisman instead. Okay.
Yeah. That's all, folks. I do have a general recommendation though that I want to get to. Do you have anything?
No, obviously not. No.
A soundboard.
I got, what I did over the past week was
shots.
I got caught up on the second season and then I got all the way deep into the guts of the third season of The Righteous Gemstones. And I will say,
oh hell yeah, I'm on there.
Yeah, I had taken time off from it, and I was just like, we just kind of stopped watching it like within like a couple episodes of the second season. This is kind of boring. Everybody on this show are
perverts. But
then halfway through we're like, actually maybe we'll go back. You know what? Maybe we should get back into it. And then I was like, this Danny McBride.
This is insane, dude.
And I was like, damn, this is actually some pretty funny stuff. So, I will recommend, checking out any of it. And like looking back on it, I realized like the best stuff from Danny McBride is like, obviously Eastbound and Down is really good, but then after that, like it becomes more about like figuring out like who the killer co-star is, like who's the killer like random person that's on the show who's like really funny, as opposed to like him and like the main cast members that are always there. And on Gemstones it's Keith. Like Keith is so fucking funny. Like that character, the guy playing it, he's just so committed to it that it's just like it really adds to like the entire oeuvre of the whole thing. Like everyone's there and they're all funny enough, but like he has some shit that just stands out where you're just like, Jesus Christ. Like it's over the top.
Yeah. I'm glad you recommended that, because that would have been something I recommended if I remembered it and not thought of something else. But yeah, I fucking love that show. I like all of the stuff that Danny McBride's done. Vice Principals rocks. Usually like when I run out of the latest Gemstone season, I just go back and rewatch Vice Principals or Eastbound and Down.
Nice.
But I was going to say another really great like standout character on that show besides Keith is BJ. The guy who plays BJ rocks.
He's really good.
Tim Baltz is really funny.
Yeah.
Did you ever listen to him? I think you and I both probably stopped listening to like Comedy Bang Bang podcast a while ago, but before I dropped away from it or whatever, fell away from it, he was one of the last guys, like new guys that would come on that I always really liked. He did just really bizarre characters, like original characters that were pretty great.
I don't remember. Yeah, I think by the time I stopped listening, maybe I just don't recall, and I can look into it and I'll double check. But yeah, the BJ character and the Keith character, both of them basically just prove that
every single person on this planet is gay.
But yeah, do you have any general recommendations of your own?
I do. And before I even get to the one I'd planned out, I'll also side recommend that guy. So the same guy, that plays BJ, Tim Baltz is his name. He had his own short-lived show on short-lived comedy subscription streaming service CISO.
Oh, I remember CISO.
Remember CISO?
Yeah.
CISO, it was basically like, and I don't know who owned it, whatever, but that was basically like the UCB adjacent comedians like streaming service, whatever. But yeah, he had a show called Shrink where he was like, well, let's just read from Wikipedia. He's a medical student who
I was gonna say some of those CISO shows you can like find online in other places now.
Yeah, you're gonna have to just download that shit. But yeah, he plays a medical student who lost his residency for something, school debt, but then he like accidentally becomes a clinical therapist like out of his garage or something. Anyway, it was like a small show, whatever, but I remember it being funny because that guy is good at what he does, whatever it may be. But my true recommendation for today, you may be able to predict.
Yeah, you think so?
Is a certain guy I just discovered. I guess I'm not in on the cool stuff as much these days, but Connor O'Malley, this comedic guy who I think is fucking hilarious and doing some like pretty interesting original comedy. And I've just watched a bunch of the stuff on YouTube, but I still have a lot of other things to check out. But I guess he's a stand-up, but he also just does like a lot of like videos and like short movies and stuff on YouTube. So I would just check out his YouTube channel. Some of the first stuff I saw was just on his Twitter page. It was like these really short parodies of like YouTube shorts basically, and they fucking nail it so well. He nails it so well. Like of like various kind of YouTube short videos, but like some of them are like clips from like video podcasts of like basically just kind of Rogan-ish type people talking about conspiracy theories and like whatever, like health regimens, jerking off and stuff, whatever. Anyway, it was pretty funny. And I'll list a few videos that I thought were really funny by name, so you can gravitate towards those first, dear listener. Some good ones I really liked were 103 Fever, Endorphin Port, The Mask was really good, Pipe Rock Theory, Bike Talk Show, which he basically just like takes clips from like the movie Joker and inserts himself into it just outright with Robert De Niro on the talk show.
Nice.
Corey's, incredibly bizarre, hilarious one. Corey's, they all are. Top 10 Wisconsin Dells Haunted Houses for Free Pulled Pork. Stand-up Solutions, which is an actual stand-up special he did, but he's like as a character, as like this kind of sort of tech TED Talk type presentation that he does, that just spirals out into weird fucked up shit basically. And then I just watched this morning, Rap World, which is like a mockumentary. It was really fucking good. I really liked that one a lot. I even flagged some comments on the video that I thought
nice
describe it well. Citizen Kane for guys who got caught by their stepdad hitting the gravity bong in the shed. This is Connor's Uncut Gems. This perfectly captures the dread of hanging out with dangerously stupid scumbags in the 2000s. That pretty much nails it right there. This, like many of Connor's works, feels mathematically engineered to elicit dread from anyone raised in the suburban Midwest from 2001 to 2012. Superbad meets the Blair Witch Project. Okay, I should have stopped while I was ahead, but
pretty good. Wait,
anyway,
hold on. What you should say is...
I'm sorry! Is that him?
Yeah.
Okay. I knew I recognized that unhinged scream. And then he has some other videos that were like him going to Trump rallies back in 2016. Like if you go to like his earliest videos, that are pretty fucking hilarious as well. Where he's like playing Michael Jackson's Black or White as like the anthem that will unite everyone But he's got like a MAGA hat on. He's basically just doing kind of like, it was like Truth Hunter or something. He's just doing kind of like an obvious but funny knockoff of like Alex Jones kind of shit a little bit, but it's not even really that. It's like, the thing about him is like, I could see someone like glancing at his stuff and just being like, oh, this is like Adult Swim clone shit. But like, I think it's more original and unique than that. It has like that. I mean, if you have to pick something to like describe its general vibe, that would be pretty much right. It could be shit that you would see on Adult Swim circa whatever, mid 2000s or something. I don't know. But anyway, It's really good. I've enjoyed it a lot, and I'm going to keep watching it. And I would recommend to you specifically, who said you're a little bit of a skeptic or something on him, the Rap World mockumentary I thought it was really good. So
I think I should check that out.
Mr. Tim, should check that out.
Yeah, I think I'll like it.
Yeah, that's pretty much it, though. Also, I was like, is this a bit or is this really him on the Seth Meyers show? I think it seems he really was on as a guest, but he really fucks with the talk show format as a guest at least 2 times that I saw on the Seth Meyers late night, whatever the fuck show that is. Apparently he used to be a writer on that show or something, which I can't even tell if that's true or just a bit or something, but anyway. Also, like, if you like, what's it called? I Think You Should Leave. He was a writer, and I think he maybe was in some of the sketches or whatever of that show. Yeah. So that's Connor O'Malley, folks.
I don't remember him being in any of the sketches, but I definitely think I've heard that he was a writer or whatever. But I'm sure he was. I just don't recall.
I heard someone say he was the masturbating guy in some sketch.
Nice.
So I don't know which sketch, but yeah, I think for sure he was a writer. I don't know. I haven't gone through his Wikipedia or anything yet. Just watching the videos has been a fun time this week, and I recommend it. Generally speaking, in a Chinese fashion.
Sure. It's important to remember that,
generally speaking, Chinese people look Chinese.
Yeah.
All right, folks, go to the show description, join our Discord, come on over to the Discord, say some stuff there, see some stuff there. If you see something, say something, as we all know. I think that's it for that bit. Maybe subscribe and review and rate things that we do. That would be cool as well. And check out Tim's other podcasts, especially, not only, but especially if you like wrestling.
Yeah.
Tim, what's your
Just go to
about?
violentpeople.co. You'll find everything there. There's articles. There's podcasts. There's news. There's updates. There's match of the week, whatever. There's all kinds of shit. So yeah, just find that stuff there.
Nice. And as I always say after every minor inconvenience, every attempt to get between me and the eternal satiated now, what I'm going through right now has not been felt since World War II by some people that were in it. Good night. Good luck. Good morning, Vietnam. That's a wrap.
Thanks.
A rap world.
There's an office and a building and a person and a chair, and you paid for it all, though you may be unaware. You paid for the paper, you paid for the phone, you paid for everything they need to deny you what you're owed. There ain't no you in United Health, there ain't no me in the company, there ain't no us in the private trust. There's hardly humans in humanity. Now the procedure that you're needing ain't the cost-effective route, and only 2% of people end up winning a dispute. So if you get sick, pray to God for help, 'cause your doctor's gotta pray to United Health. Way back in 77, Mr. Richard T. Burke started buying HMOs, putting federal grants to work, made 50 billion buckaroos. Last year the Warren Buffett of health, the Jeff Bezos of fear. Now CEOs come and go, and one just went. The ingredients you got, bake the cake you get. But if you get sick, cross your fingers for luck, 'cause old Richard T. Burke ain't giving a fuck. Commoditized health, monopolized fraud. Here's the doctors we own and the research we bought. They own the pharmacies and a lot of the meds. They should start buying graves to sell us when we're all dead. There ain't no you in United Health, there ain't no me in the company, there ain't no us in the private trust. There's hardly humans in humanity. There's hardly humans in humanity.
The first voice recording was made in 1860. It was a 10-second fragment of the French folk song Au clair de la lune recorded by inventor Edward Leon Scott de Martinville. But who will make the final voice recording and when? What will it be? Who will hear it?